What we're going to do is ambulance safety today. At the beginning of each shift, you need to make sure that the ambulance is ready to go and meets all of the safety checks and has everything on it that is necessary. I'm going to start under the hood. That should be done. You start with the engine off, and you just need to verify all of your fluids. All of that is done on the driver's side. You can look and see your fluid levels on the brake fluid, and then your oil line is right here with the yellow stick, and you'll check your oil. And once you do that, then while the engine's off, you can walk around the truck and you just want to check all of your tires, make sure that you don't have anything sticking out, any air bubbles, anything like that would, when you're moving at high speeds, will cause problems. So you'll come around to all the tires on the truck. At the back, you're going to end up, we have two wheels, so you're going to need to feel on the inside to make sure that the tires are good all the way around. And then you're going to want to look and just make sure they don't appear to be flat or don't appear to have any problems. All the tires appear to be well inflated and don't have any problems. When you get back to the front of the truck, then you're going to want to check all of your electrical compartments to make sure that they're closed and secured, and make sure that you don't see any fluid leaks. The other thing from this side that you'll want to do is take a look at the serpentine belt to make sure that it's tight and doesn't have any cracks or any appearance that it's worn. With the truck on, you're going to want to come and check the transmission fluid. It's just a red stick. And you'll pull that out, verify that your transmission fluid is good, and then you can close the hood at that point. Once we get the hood closed and secured, we're ready to check all the emergency lights. So we're going to want to turn everything on. The first thing to turn on is the master sequencer, and then the module in the back. That's going to activate all of the electrical panels and all the power for the truck, and it's going to turn the load manager on to make sure that we don't surge the power when we start turning things electrical power on. You're going to turn your primary lights on by pushing the first button up. You're going to switch to the siren mode, turn your auxiliary lights, your Opticom system, which is what changes the traffic lights, and then you're going to turn the left, right, and rear loading lights on. And then at this point, and then your fog lights. At this point, you can walk around the truck on the outside and verify that all lights are working. You're also going to want to turn your hazard lights on so that you can verify that your turn signal, and then your headlights so that you can verify that all of your headlights and tail lights are working. And then at this point, we'll walk around the truck to make sure that those are all working. You'll notice you go around that the Opticom light changing system on the hood will not work until the truck is put in gear. I'll go put it in gear and make sure that it's working. Then we'll walk around and make sure that all lights are working. The other thing to check at this point is to look at the truck and make sure that the air ride system is working. With your back doors open, the truck should sit down and all of the air will be released. When we come back here, we'll close the left door, which should raise the air ride system. And you can hear that the air ride is going up and the system is turned on. If for some reason that doesn't happen, there's a switch on the door that controls the air ride system. So you'll notice if I turn that off, then the air ride system is not working now. When I turn that back on, then the air ride will jump. So the air ride is going to default to the up position unless the switch is set properly. The switch is set properly, then anytime the door is closed, it comes up. Anytime it's open, it dumps. Okay? The thing that's important there is when we get back to the front to turn the lights off, you're going to notice that there's also a switch in the front. These two switches will compete with one another. So if you flip the front switch, then you come back here and flip the back switch, then you start competing with each other, and you can't figure out what's working. So if you always leave it in the position that it's in, then it will always dump like it's supposed to. But that switch gets accidentally kicked quite frequently, and that's an easy way to hurt your back when the truck is all the way up and you're having to lift the stretcher out as opposed to letting it dump down where it can slide out easily. Once we've checked that all the lights are working, then we're just going to go turn all of that off and then move it into the cab area and continue with that section. On this truck, the master air ride switch is located right here. So if the air ride is turned on or off, that can be done from here. The other thing is the exhaust brake that's important, that's turned on and off here. We always drive with the exhaust brake on because of the weight of the truck. Using the exhaust brake allows us to stop faster at high speeds and to make sure that if for some reason our brakes are not working at their fullest, then the exhaust brake will help us stop. So we always put that on. The only time that that should be turned off is if you're driving on the interstate. The other switch that's important here is the overdrive switch. If that switch is flipped into the on position where the light is showing, then the top gear on the ambulance is removed and your top speed will be about 55 to 60 miles an hour. So if for some reason the truck is not performing like it's supposed to and it's topping out at 55 to 60, always check your overdrive switch and verify whether or not that has been flipped accidentally. The other things on the panel here